all the woke people on the left, they're always screaming about punching Nazis, all right? Punch a Nazi, everybody. He's a Nazi, you gotta punch him. But not enough people are talking about punching commies, all right? Arguably an equal evil, all right? I'll be real here. Both Nazism and communism caused millions upon millions of deaths. They're both absolutely satanic, and I don't think that we should live in a society where we're really calling them apart that much. Now, of course, the woke libtards don't want to look at the world this way, and that is largely because they are perpetual victims. They like blaming things on other people, and they want to usher in a new age of communism, right? They're trying to elect a communist in New York, all right? And the largest leftist Twitch terrorist, streamer, my bad, is a communist too. They're everywhere, literally pandering to the poor people, the broke people, and the mentally retarded people, and this is absolutely diabolical. Patrick Ben David is a very rich man. He has a podcast, he has a business, he's worth like $500 million. I actually just messaged him recently. Something cool happened. Okay, whatever, moving on. What do they teach at universities nowadays? Be a victim, hate the rich, blame all your problems on the rich, nothing's your fault, government is the answer to everything, capitalism sucks, communism is great, this is what happens when you have 11 liberal professors for every one conservative, brainwashing at its best. Many of these institutions are creating victims instead of leaders. Parents, inspect where you're sending your kids. Tommy Robinson responds, I didn't even see this. You missed Islam is peace and Israel commits genocide. True. Yeah, so obviously there is something wrong in this country, and I am here to fix it. Now, I wouldn't say single-handedly, because I am something of a retard myself. I understand that YouTube has absolutely been destroying my reach lately. Over 70% of my views come from subscribers. You literally can't find my videos if you're not subscribed, so up those numbers, definitely subscribe. If this found you, it's a miracle. But today I wanted to look at an absolute devastation. Jubilee, one of these massive debate shows on YouTube, basically got one capitalist, Patrick Ben David, surrounded by 20 communists or socialists. It's the same thing. They use a different word because communism is linked to the deaths of hundreds of millions of people, and that sounds bad. It has like a bad reputation, so they're laundering it. They're calling it socialism. It's a lie. It's the same thing. Now I'm sure that someone in the comments are going to be like hitting me with nuanced definitions. You're fucking retarded. You fell for the bullshit. Communism and socialism is the same thing. It's steal things from people that earned it. That's what this system's about, and it's fucking horse shit. Now, if you want to know my personal stance on things is there needs to be some sort of balance, in my opinion. I think 100% capitalism can't work, and neither can 100% communism. You need some sort of balance. I'd say 80% capitalism, 20% socialism, if I have to estimate. And to be honest, I'm not the first person that thought of this. You ever heard of a little book called The Bible? The Bible talks about how you own your own land, how you own your own products, how you own your own possessions, different ways to, buy certain products from other people. Very, very big fan of free market. However, at the same time, in the Bible, there are tithing programs where you give a 60th of your crops to the priests and a 10th of the crops to the poor, etc., etc. As well as the whole concept of after every 7 years, like your loans, you don't have to pay back your loans anymore. Your loans get basically written off. Like, there are a lot of, I guess, social constructs added to a very capitalist system, and that is personally what I subscribe to. You have every right to disagree. You would just be wrong, because the blue retard here is always right. If you're a subscriber, you'll know that's a true thing. But for now, I want to see a bunch of unbelievable victim mentality retards get obliterated by Patrick Ben David. A lot of people told me I needed to look at this, and Rattlesnake made a little compilation of the best hits. So let's see what we got.
Would you give up your citizenship to whichever communist country you want to go to?
I want to say that I think it's pretty comical that an elite such as yourself...
An elite! These people are such fucking retards. Like, dude, isn't this guy an Iranian immigrant that came to America broke as shit? Like, and he worked his way up? Like, you are such a fucking retard.
As the goal.
Give me one you read. Are you willing to take one recommendation?
No.
You're not. Then I can't help you.
Hi, I'm poor, and that sucks. The government needs to give me everything. Billionaire about to give you good advice. I don't want to hear your good advice, because I actually would rather literally commit suicide instead of actually getting a job. Honestly, fucking do it. Do it! Help this country. My tax dollars paying for your bullshit. Do it. Do it, bitch. Don't got no balls. No balls. Sorry, I popped off a little bit there. Sorry, definitely subscribe while I compose myself.
It's perfect for someone like you. You have to be cool with this.
All the time.
This dude, dude, look at this guy. This is the type of guy that'll be like, we are all part of Gaia's great tapestry of Earth. All right, that's what this guy's about to hit you with. He's about to hit you with, We are all parts of Gaia's tapestry. No one should own anything. Yes, because communism never led to a massive power vacuum that was controlled by literally the most powerful people in the country, and it was turned into fascism and wiped out millions of people. Of course.
You are with 13-year-olds all the time. How about
What the fuck did he just say?
for someone like you? You have to be cool with this.
all the time.
I am with 13-year-olds all the time. Okay, there has to be context.
You are with 13-year-olds all the time.
Oh, there has to be context. I'm sorry.
But I interview you and I give you a job. Would you move to Fort Lauderdale?
Why'd he laugh? Wait, what the shit? This dude's worth $500 million and he offers you a job. But you're not gonna take, are you retarded?
I'm not trying to get a job.
I'm off the table because you're going to be difficult to work with.
I'm mainly mentally ill because
We know! Septum piercing right over here. Nose ring theory, correct. 100% accuracy.
I am disabled and
Of course she's disabled.
Welcome back to
Of course she's disabled. Classic.
Rattlesnake TV,
All right,
guys.
all right.
In this video, we
All
are
right.
going to be breaking down Patrick Bet David's recent appearance on Jubilee.
right,
This
let's
one was
see.
very interesting, and although I have a lot to add to this and to the
Okay.
conversations that were had, I really like what Patrick Bet David did here. He did a fantastic job of exposing the victim mentality
All
beneath
right.
the talking
Hell yeah,
points.
dude. Because we know that's what it's all about.
That, let's get into the first bit.
I do not agree with your claim. I don't think that incentives are only born out of capitalism.
Okay.
Maybe not only born out of capitalism, but I think largely born out of capitalism. Like, capitalism is the only system that actually has incentives, right? The incentive to actually make money gives you the incentive to actually go out there, take a risk, and create. Otherwise, why the fuck would you do any of that shit? Why would you ever take any risk to do anything if there's no incentive at the end of it? Absolutely. Obviously, there are some incentives born from passion, but it's absolutely a minority.
Most capitalist defenders say that incentive is because of scarcity and people's ability to get what is necessary.
Yeah, that's bullshit. So some incentive is based on scarcity, right? It incentivizes you to go to work if you need to make money, right? That's out of scarcity. But it doesn't incentivize you to take a risk for your life and build something or innovate or develop or anything like that. Why would you ever do any of that? That's bullshit.
Pushes them to work harder. I disagree with that. I'd say that some of our hardest workers are single moms working 3 to 4 jobs.
What? Okay, not all hard work is created equal, all right? Like, come on, dude, what are we doing?
And the resources that they're able to acquire compared to those that utilize their workers in order to build profit for their own companies is not equivocal.
This is such a, like, gay tap dancing monkey kind of philosophy. It's like, more money should go to people that work harder, even if their work is not necessarily work that makes a profit, because, you know, they're working hard. So we need to reward them. This is some fucking bullshit entitlement, bullshit philosophy. I said bullshit twice in that phrase, not due to lack of words that I could come up with, but due to the double amount of bullshit that I just heard. I'm sorry. That's insane. And the fact that we all need to go around and make believe like this is a valid point, like, dude, stop being such an entitled prick. Okay? Every time someone gives you something for free, you say, thank you so much, you didn't have to do that.
So how would you do it? How would you change it?
Yeah, so I think that humans inherently want to be meaningful. They want to contribute to their communities. They want to
Humans inherently want to be meaningful, says the libtard as he votes to pass abortion bills where they kill 1 million babies a year.
contribute to society. When you look at depression rates, oftentimes it's people who aren't able to do anything besides laying in their bed and basically barely taking care of themselves. So I think that it's just a human intrinsic value to want to bring value to their community or grant.
So according, look, man, whenever we go down this rabbit hole, it's like, listen, it's just intrinsic human nature and things. It's just, you know, intrinsic human nature to want to do good and stuff, which is why, communism killed hundreds of millions of people. It's just the intrinsic goodness of the fucking retards that killed millions.
Grander society.
Okay,
so I don't think that it has to be through scarcity alone that scares people into working, if that makes sense.
I worked for scarcity. I think there's levels to it. You have the survival folks who work for survival
True.
to pay their bills.
That's scarcity.
Some work for status, some work for freedom, and some work for legacy. The folks that work 3 or 5 jobs, you know, to pay their bills and do what they're doing, if the incentive wasn't there, they wouldn't work 3 to 5 jobs. Some of the guys that build a bigger business that solve a lot of problems.
The incentive there is either I die or I work. That's not really a system that rewards merit. That's a system that pushes people into insecure positions.
Not necessarily. In many cases, we put ourselves in situations as well. But when an
Are you saying that
incentive,
it's an individual failure for these single mothers that are working 3 to 4 jobs?
for some of them,
Look, man, there's many parts to things, okay? Obviously, not every situation is created equal. So I could say something that could apply to a large portion of single mothers, but not all of them. But in an ideal world, there would not be so many single mothers. Don't you think that the fucking, hedonism crisis in America is causing just this mass uprising of single mothers? Isn't this like a big fucking problem? I don't know. In my opinion, it absolutely is. I think if you would have a nuclear family, if you wouldn't have the feminism movement in general, which is like, I mean, the left does support like the fucking modern feminist bullshit. I know that Patrick Ben David, there's no way he's going down this path. But you see, a single mother raising a bunch of kids is not an ideal situation already. They have already fucked up. Now, I'm not saying that it's always their fault. Sometimes the husband is evil and should be dealt with. Sometimes the husband dies. There are infinite scenarios, but this is not an ideal situation. It's fucking sad already.
It is.
Interesting.
For some of them, it is.
I'm glad you bite that bullet, because most people are not going to say that it's a moral failure of people that are born into poverty that continue to local
for
poverty.
somebody like me, I came from the single mother system. My mother was a single mother. We had, my parents got a divorce.
Dude, Jubilee picked the right rich guy to defend capitalism. They picked a guy that literally was not born into it. Based as fuck. I don't know. I told you, I just messaged him and he replied. He's a super nice guy from what I understand. I don't know him super well, but he seems like a really good dude.
Twice they married each other, they divorced, they remarried each other, divorced again. I came up, we didn't have a lot of choices. I joined the army, I got at that system, kind of wanted to see what I was going to do for myself. Do I stay in the army? Do I get out of the army? I started working in sales. And then the incentive of working harder, eventually I built a good life for myself.
You're totally dismissing the hard work that a lot of these people are putting into for just basic survival.
Dude, life's not fair. Life is hard. Okay, again, I'm not this isn't an idea of dismissing people that aren't making it. Obviously, there's a million situations in the universe that fucking suck. One of them is getting your legs blown off in the military, and the other one is your husband kills himself and you're a single mom and you're broke as shit. There are many instances that suck, all right? When a kid gets cancer, it's really sad too. Now, because of individual, personal, tragic situations, does that mean that you need to fucking rewrite the world so that you could literally have these blood-sucking leeches in society? And I'm not saying there shouldn't be charity. I am a big fan of charity. I personally donate 20% of all of my income to charity. That is my personal thing. I don't talk about it a lot because it's not really your business. But personally, I do that. And I don't like go through organizations and shit. I give it to like poor families for the most part. And realistically, in a good world, everyone would do that. In a good world, the local community, the local church, the local synagogue, would actually help out. And I think that is a really good thing. And also, there are checks and balances in society, despite the fact that I'm sure that this dude wants some communist utopia. There are checks and balances in society that do supply single mothers with things like rent and food stamps, etc., etc. So I'm not exactly sure what is being got at here. In my opinion, personally, humbly, America is the best country in the world if you actually want to make money. Unfortunately, the schools teach you all the ways not to make money. I bet you never fucking heard about the stock market before you left high school, and that's a crime. It's evil. It really is. I'm telling you this right now, okay? Just from me to you. This is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. If you would put in every single month, I don't know what your living expenses look like, but if you had an extra $300 to spare a month, and you know what? You did a little less takeout, a little less DoorDash, and you put $300 a month in the stock market. So here's just your hypothetical. Okay, if I were to put in $300 every month into the S&P 500 for 30 years, this is how much it would end up. It would end up being $353,000. All right, that is a profit of around $250,000 on a $100,000 investment. That is $300 a year for 30 years, and $300. Most people could afford it. I know that it's a rough market out there, but if you do this, it could change your fucking life. All right, this is just a random example. I'm not telling you how to invest your money. Obviously, it's none of my business, not a financial advisor, yada, yada. But this is a system that could work. It really could.
I'd say that mechanics and plumbers and most people working blue-collar jobs that are probably watching this video are working tirelessly day after day.
But
yet they still feel insecure positions to where they don't even know if they're going to be able to afford rent in the next 6 months.
Well, to be honest, that depends on a lot of factors. Plumbers and, a lot of plumbers make really good money, first of all. I know personally some plumbers that make you know, upward of $150,000 a year. You know, plumbers could make very, very good money. Obviously, especially if you expand, if you take employees, if you expand your business, you know, et cetera, there's many things you could do. And if you're investing on the side, right, if you're making $100,000 a year, which is a very decent salary, a very good fucking salary, if you're making $100K a year, you don't need to spend all $100K. If you put 50,000 of those dollars in the stock market, you'll end up with millions. Probably upward of 10 million in 20 years if you just let it increase there. Like, you don't understand how good the fucking market is in America. And it's because no one teaches you about it.
Let me ask
If
you,
most Americans have a $400 to $500 emergency, they can't even afford that with the basic savings that they have. So this is not something that we should celebrate as promises of a system that gives you more if you work harder. We should say that this is
Well, it's not just about working harder. It's about working smarter, too. All right, listen, man, if you have zero ambition and zero drive and you don't try to do anything and you had terrible mentors all your life and you had a system that was designed to make you feel like a victim, that you only get up off your ass for, honestly, for when you literally need the paycheck, you'll take a job at McDonald's. Yeah, you're right. That shit sucks. It really does. But there are opportunities out there. I know that it's a difficult market. I know it's not easy, but the solution isn't crying about it in your mom's basement. The solution is, working your fucking ass off while you're in your mom's basement because no one can afford rent because fuck you, boomers.
something that rewards few. And I'm glad that you're an outlier that's been able to build a lot of success for yourself. I know that you're a multimillionaire. That's fantastic that you have those resources. That cannot happen for everybody in society. It's possible for each individual to do it, but not everybody can be. That's guaranteed.
I don't think not everybody can be a billionaire or a millionaire, but I do think people can find ways to use their time to effectively increase their market value. And I don't think many people do that. When I talk to people and they tell me I've watched it.
Dude, you could do so much. There is so much out there. A lot of people really feel like there isn't, and there really is. It's not easy, and it's a lot of work. But dude, if you're raised right, you'll do that shit. Like, these are people without father figures that go on this show that have been fucked by the system and taught that they're victims of an unfair capitalist society. Dude, it is not only a better system, but it is a more moral system. Socialism is when two people vote that they could take your shit, and then they rob you blind.
This show, I watch every one of these shows. I watch every one of these Netflix shows. You can use that time to increase your market value instead of kind of, focus on what's going on with the stories and shows that are out there.
Okay, so the first one here was a productive conversation between the two. But if I were Patrick...
it was a good discussion. I don't think that guy was like a complete retard, to be fair. I think that guy was actually pretty well spoken. I just think it's a really sad victim mentality shit, where you really feel like people can't pull themselves up and actually make something of themselves. It's so fucking sad. We are living in the land of opportunity. Thank God.
David, I probably would have started with a little bit of common ground. The misconception is that capitalists are all just greedy, selfish people and they don't care about the little guy. They just...
Yeah, that's the misconception, because that's literally what's pushed in college campuses, that capitalism is evil and landlords are all bad and all everything is evil, and it's so fucking bullshit. It really is.
Get to the top of the hill and then pull the ladder up after them. But that's not necessarily true. These people aren't blind.
Okay, another thing that's important to note is most of the jobs being made in the country are made by billionaires, right? Yeah, Walmart has how many employees? How many millions of employees does Walmart have? Like, the jobs are made by the billionaires. Right? Starbucks is worth billions. You know how many people work at Starbucks in America? Like, it's such a stupid concept. It really is.
Blind to the issues, and they also want a good society, not only for themselves, but for their families and future generations. So it may have been helpful to acknowledge the problem. I mean, wages have stagnated, costs are rising, wealth inequity is widening, housing is unaffordable, and debt burdens are crushing ordinary families. You could also find mutual ground in critiquing the corporate.
And there's so much. There's so much. Like, I guess this is just a 1-minute debate that he's having with the guy. I wouldn't, you can't necessarily complain about the entire system being faulty. I could give you a list of things. You're gonna go into fucking debt for a college degree in underwater lesbian tap dancing? Are you retarded? What are you doing?
Elites point out how monopolies and financial institutions, the too big to fail banks, the big tech cartels and lobbying groups manipulate the system in ways that hurt workers and small businesses. But when you look at these issues, socialism is not the answer. And I think that on this side, we have much, much better solutions than giving it all over to the government, centralizing all of the power and the wealth there, because...
because socialism does not just mean everyone divides everything equally. It means the government owns everything and then picks what to give to who. Like, dude, it's fucking evil shit. It really is. It is tyranny.
Know how much of a fantastic job that they do. I would take an anti-usury stance. Debt slavery, student loans, payday lending, and endless credit is a moral evil. People on the capitalist side of the fence should be calling for financial reform that actually stops exploitative lending, and one that's straight.
Look, man, that's what I have to say. Bible laws. Just straight up follow the laws of the Bible. Like, literally. Every time I say it, people roll their eyebrows, but think about it. All right, there's no interest, right? According to the Bible, there should not be interest, right? So, no interest. Loans disappear after 7 years. Like, think about it. Think about it. But it's a hyper-capitalist society where everything you own is yours, right? No property taxes. No fucking property taxes, no fucking sales taxes. That shit is absolute highway robbery. I have to pay the government for a house that I own? What is this shit? So, again, I think hyper-capitalist society, certain social... Again, man, what can I say? What can I say? God was right, it turns out.
Strengthens savings and ownership. The person on the capitalist side here should also support small business and family enterprise. Farmers, craftsmen, entrepreneurs. This decentralizes wealth instead of concentrating it in mega corporations or bureaucracies. And lobbying groups...
That was just my opinion, by the way. You have every right to disagree.
Must be
I'd be disagreeing with, you know, I'm not like an economist. But you'd be arguing with God. I got God on my side. What the fuck are you gonna talk? All right, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I get a little too. I like my opinions. I've noticed. You have every right to disagree, but my opinions are always right.
Targeted to stop them
Unless
from
they're wrong.
puppeteering politicians for their interests.
Yeah, that shit's evil. Those guys all need to go to jail. Every single fucking person in the government, insider trading, taking money from fucking pharmaceutical companies that are pushing drugs on people literally so that they can poison themselves to need more drugs, to buy more drugs. Nah, that shit is evil fucking shit. Literally skin them, flay them. Honestly, penis guillotine those motherfuckers.
And targeting low information voters. Or even better yet, suffrage should be drastically limited so that lobbying groups can't have access to these low information voters. And speaking of decentralization, a great example of this is the decentralization of information. Just this morning, I was looking at
ground news.
What you've got to do is hit the... Let's get back to the video.
So I think the issue is the framing of incentive here. Incentive doesn't disappear in a socialist or a communist society.
Yes, it does. It literally does. In a communist society, everyone makes the same amount of money, whether you're a doctor or whether you fucking do anything else. All right? If you work at McDonald's and whether you're a doctor, you make the same amount of money. Why on earth? That's socialism, right? Everyone gets their let's say, $50,000 a year check, and that is what they got, no matter what you do. That's pure communism. Why would anyone be a doctor? Literally, why would anyone go to medical school for years and years and years of studying and training to become a doctor when a guy flipping burgers is making the same amount of money? Why the fuck would you do that? Of course. And why would you go out on a limb to create and invent and do all these things and innovate? You would never innovate if you just got your free 50K check. Even if you succeeded, you get your 50K check. And if you fail, you weren't working. So fuck you. So when you look at a world through that lens, it is so obvious that capitalism creates incentive. And you want to know the best evidence to this in the universe? America's fucking goated. You look at Russia, you look at China, you look at all these other countries. They have been relatively stagnant when it comes to innovation. Maybe not China so much, but the capitalist societies, like look at Japan versus China. Look at South Korea versus North Korea. The development of tech and innovation is on another level.
Just changes and evolves. So we see in capitalism, the incentive is obviously monetary gain, maybe even collecting capital itself through land ownership. In a communist or a socialist country, you would see incentive would just evolve into, I know it's a vague term, but the common good.
Horse shit. Okay, I hate watching people with zero basis in basic ethics or morality talk about how common good is enough of an incentive to push all of society forward. You are retarded. They will rob you blind if they have the ability to do it. What are you talking about? There's thieves, there's murderers, there's mass rapes in half of Europe right now. Okay? There's looting that goes on every time something relatively innocuous happens in the media. Oh, St. Floyd was killed. All right, St. Floyd died, and they decided to loot Target. Okay? You're telling me that this is all for the moral good of society? It's such a load of bullshit. It's crazy. It's like actually divorced from reality. Oh, but the reason why they looted is because of capitalism. No, it's not. It's because they're fucking bastards. Those neighbors are guilty.
You have an incentive to do your chores around your house.
Look at fucking hippie McLarkin smiling over there. Come on, dude. He's like, yes, common good. You're so right, sister. Sister in Gaia's Earth tapestry. We are all connected. Okay, I'm sorry. I shouldn't be making fun of this guy just based on his looks. As someone that personally does judge books by their cover, though, this dude is a Gaia tapestry fellow.
You don't want to live in a filthy house, right? That makes sense. It doesn't have to be just monetary.
Right.
So you don't...
That's so fucking retarded, though. It's so fucking retarded. Like, so do you think that everyone is just gonna go out and do their absolute best every day for the common good? Are you stupid? Oh my lord. Yeah, no one's gonna sit at home and play video games if they just get free money. Absolutely not. They'd be going out to work at McDonald's for the common good. Like literally divorced from reality, victim mentality, blaming the rich people, communist utopia. You're retarded.
Think monetary incentive drives people, or you're saying that people should be excited to do their job whether they're getting incentivized for it or not? That's what you're saying.
People will be incentivized to do
Give me a case study. Give me a case study of that worked. Give me one.
We don't even need to look at case studies. We can just look at charity work.
Well,
all right, okay, so you're saying that people will just be incentivized based... Okay, give me an example. There are no examples, but think about charity. Yeah, think about charity. You know who the biggest donors are? You know who the biggest people that give money to charity are? Religious people. Religious Christians is the biggest group of people that give money to charity. All right? It's religious people because the holy books say to give charity, and that's why they do it, because God told them to. All right? Why aren't all the gay theists giving as much charity as the Christians? Ever consider that? Well, obviously it's because, you know, people that are, not basing their morality on some sort of objective truth have the right to decide whatever their morality subjectively is. And they subjectively decided to keep more money in their pockets.
Why don't we actually look at a case study? You got two countries, North Korea, South Korea.
There it is.
One is communism and one is capitalism.
Yeah.
Yes.
North Korea's GDP last year was $23 billion.
Are we judging countries' values based off GDP?
Oh my fucking God. So how do you judge it? So how do you judge it? Oh my God. It's such a like whiny bitch mentality. It's like, are you literally defining it by, the only metric we have to define things? Or we should be defining it by, I don't know, quality of life? Bro, I'm pretty sure the quality of life in North Korea is not that great.
That's because that's a job. Freedom of speech. You can't, like, if you lived in North Korea.
Basic freedom. North Korea's shit in every metric, okay? I'm glad you're saying that GDP is not enough. Every single metric would say that life as a peasant in North Korea is shit.
You wouldn't be able to do what you're doing right now. You wouldn't have a voice. In South Korea, I'm gonna give you stats. In South Korea, their GDP is $1.7 trillion.
South Korea is also owned by like 5 companies in total in the entire
70
country.
times better
you
than
think
North
that's something
Korea.
to buy? If you are,
Will you shut up? He's talking. Oh my God, the disrespect. No wonder why you couldn't make it in business.
Employed by the top 5 countries. You are practically unemployed in these countries.
Do you like to be free?
I'm not going to be free in a country like South Korea where I'm only employed in companies or no job.
I'm not going to be free in South Korea where I have to get a job. Damn, that's crazy.
Like me. Do you like to be free where you can have a strong opinion? Do you like to be free to have your dreams?
I like to be free, but that's why I'm anti-capitalist.
Well, maybe you are.
That is why.
Oh my God, these people are so retarded. Capitalism is literally a free system. It literally is a free system.
Can removes that choice. There is
Capitalism removes the choice of freedom? Are you retarded? Bro, communism is literally taking away your choice. You're putting all the power in the hands of the few that are controlling society. They can control what you say, what you think, what you eat, how you sleep, how much money you make. They literally own you. All right? They own you. Capitalism is literally so free, people could be poor. The freedom to be poor if they don't get a job. That is capitalism.
Incentive of capitalism because the incentive is survival. When you get into communism, the incentive is for the common good.
I love that. I got
common good. Oh my God, dude. And you think everyone is going to be doing the common good? Who's going to be the one to say, you know what? I am going to work at McDonald's for the common good. Yes. Yes.
I got an offer for you before we move on. If I were to give you your $2,350, which is the cost to renunciate your citizenship, and I paid you your first class, flight to
everyone's a communist until they have to move to a communist country.
Whatever communist country, and $20,000 of money.
Communist country.
Would you give up your citizenship?
Name me a communist country. True communism has never been tried yet. This is the strategy that they all do because on the way to try true communism, the communist regime kills 100 million people, so it never actually gets there. It's the little fucking. You see the smirk on her face based. They all do the same shit.
This country, and I'm
Whichever
moving out there.
communist
Name a communist. None have ever tried true communism.
country you want to go to.
yeah,
Cuba,
then
we
that's
can
not
give
a
you
communist
Venezuela,
country.
we give you North Korea, any one of those you want
Those
to go
aren't communist countries. None of
Choose any one of them, I'll give you a one-way ticket and I'll fund it for you if you want to.
That's it.
Okay, so this is the first offer that Patrick Ben David makes throughout this video. And this is a fantastic strategy here because he's telling them to put their money where their mouth is.
True.
And he is putting his money where his mouth is.
So based. Honestly, so based. And apparently he offers another guy a job. Dude, unbelievably based. This is how you destroy every one of these mentalities.
Any of these communist countries, we will fly you out to.
Nah, but her thing was, I don't know, I've seen too many of these commies talking, and every single one yaps the same way. True communism has never been tried yet. That's literally what they all say. And it's so retarded, because 100 million people die on the way to true communism. So yeah, yes, it never was tried yet. You're right, true. They massacred, they holocausted their own people before they got that far.
First class. I mean, it is communism that you are arguing for after all. And if you think that your version of communism will be the best and most moral and righteous one, well, so did Chairman Mao, so did Stalin, so did Pol Pot, and in North and South Korea there. And I've been to these places. Well, I've been to the demilitarized zone between North and South Korea. And what she's talking about there with the big corporations is what's called the Kaibols or the Chibols, which is companies like LG and Samsung and Hyundai. Because the north of Korea has all of the agriculture, the South had to find a way to make their economy competitive. And so what they did was they put their support into these Chibol companies. And they employ huge amounts of the population.
And you know what? South Korea is a super successful country. And dude, you look at every capitalist society and they all end up that way. I mean, I think that a really easy example to show you that this works and how communism is bullshit. Like, if you look at Israel, Israel was, reestablished as a state 75 years ago or whatever. It's already one of the tech giants in the world. It is already one of the biggest countries for startups on the planet. Like, half the tech in your phone is made by Israeli companies, right? Google Maps is made by Israeli companies. Like, it's crazy. Like, and to think that it's because it's a hyper-aggressive, hyper-competitive capitalist society where they're competing to innovate. And that is literally what it's all about. That's what it's all about. Just gotta, I don't know, man. Communism is a way for everyone to die slowly.
Not as many as she said. It's about 10% of the nation's workforce. I mean, you can be a capitalist in South Korea if you want. You can start a company. There's lots of restaurants, lots of...
Working at a company is also being a capitalist. Starting a company is a big risk. It really is. Because if your company fails, you just spent millions of dollars and hours just down the toilet. Starting a company is a big risk. If you succeed, it's a big reward. But the amount of successful companies are a small percent. You can just start a company magically. There's a much easier path to actually make a living, and that is just getting a job at an already established company, right? If you become a computer programmer, you can be a computer programmer in any company that hires you. You're not taking the risk at starting a business that can go up in flame and leave you with nothing. And realistically, that is the risk you have to take if you want to start a company. Now, if you do succeed, you can succeed really well. Look at Patrick Ben David. I'm pretty sure he did like an insurance company, and now he's worth $500 million, all right? Because he did an insurance company. Realistically, that's what we're talking about. That's why capitalism is amazing. But these people were too brainwashed by their fucking communist libtard freaks, and that's why we got to bring McCarthyism back and deport Hassan Piker.
Retail stores and all of this. But it would have been interesting there to see Patrick Ben David ask her a little bit more about her view on North and South Korea. And
she was interrupting him constantly. He didn't even have the opportunity.
Which society she actually thinks is better, because I have a feeling she may have said North. Anyway.
All the commies do this, by the way. That's why people like Hassan Piker and the other tankies, that's why they actually support Russia over Ukraine. Because, Russia's spreading communism ultimately, which is why they actually think Russia is a net positive, even though they're killing thousands of people. And that's why so many of these people will just go the Russia route. It's crazy.
Let's carry on.
I think incentives are exactly the fundamental problem with capitalism. Is that you say incentives are what...
Incentives are the problem of capitalism. I'm telling you, these people are retarded. Like, they're actually retarded. These are actual victim babies. Like, these are people that are just super entitled, ego-driven bitches.
Make it work, and I think that's the whole issue, is that the primary incentives are either greed, for amass of as much personal wealth as you possibly can.
You think that's the problem? It's greed?
Yeah, exactly. And like
you're not greedy at all.
And like
Socialism is greed. I really hate this bullshit. Obviously, you have greedy capitalists. You have these slimy, dirty, sniveling, conniving capitalists out there. Okay, I'm not gonna make you believe even for a second that's not true. But socialism is a party designed based off greed, where you are taking money that other people earned and giving it to people that didn't earn that money. That is pure greed, pure and utter greed. To feel entitled that my money that I earned, I need to pay taxes for it to go to you who didn't earn that shit. You're the greedy one here.
You said survival, right? That the person, working 5 jobs, that they're doing that so they wouldn't want to do that if they didn't need to survive. But that's such a horrible dystopian world.
These people are such feminine freaks, every single one of them. It's such a horrible worldview to need to work to live. Oh my God, it's so sad. Dude, stop being such a bitch. Start piloting your life with logic and not emotion. Unbelievable.
To live in. If someone has to work
throw his pearls on his hat so he could clutch them when things get too tough.
5 jobs just to survive.
How did they get
Is he really trying to appeal to emotion here? Like, what are you fucking doing?
How much of that is on their decision making? How much of that is on their doing? How much of that?
I mean, there are absolutely circumstances that are out of people's control. Someone gets in a terrible accident, they end up having horrible medical debts. They end up being disabled in some way that they're not able to work properly. They end up having a brain injury and they're not able to think properly and therefore they can't get a job well. There are people who are born with issues, people that are born with diseases. You have people that have been born in single family households. People that are born into debt. You have people that have abusive spouses that leave them, giving you much more of a workload. If you're also taking care of kids, there are an infinite amount of examples on a specific personal level where shit's tough. And that's why I believe we need a system like charity, where people are getting charity. People can go to synagogues, churches, their local community. That'll help them out with things like that. I do think that is super important. But that is one part. The other part is personal choices. So many people make bad choices. 90% of people in college made a bad choice. They went to college, they're in debt, and they're getting a degree in fucking lesbian tap dancing in Nicaragua. Those people are fucking retards, and they've been literally sold into a gigantic pyramid scheme.
That is on the market where they're not finding ways to improve themselves.
It doesn't matter how much onus is on the individual. We want to create.
Yeah, it does. What are you talking about?
No. See, we want to create.
No, it doesn't. I don't know. No one should have responsibility for their decisions. We should just get shit for free. Based retard.
This is on
in
you.
which people don't have to earn their right to exist.
No, you have the right to exist, but you have the right to exist. You just don't have the right to have money. You'll die if you don't have money, which sucks, obviously, but that's not a right. The only right you have is free will, okay? Other than that, you have no rights. Rights are an illusion. Rights aren't a real thing. These people need to wake up, get out of Delulu land, and welcome to reality. I don't know what's going on. Why do we have a generation of weak-ass bitches, and who designed that shit?
Okay, so here's the key word here. When he says we want to create a world where people don't have to earn their rights, their right to live,
bullshit.
their right to healthcare, their right to how you can extrapolate it further and further and further. You shouldn't have to earn this. You should get all of these things from just existing. And this is where you kind of realize that you're not really speaking to a sober-minded individual.
This is not a normal adult. This is not a man. This is literally emotional bullshit.
Is based in reality. You're speaking to somebody who is actually based in ideals and fairy tales and kumbaya.
True.
But you could probably tell that by the hat. But not to harp on the hat, let's carry on.
We live in a country where majority of the world wants to come here.
Oh, such a good argument. Such a good fucking argument.
Most important citizenship country is America.
Yeah, why?
Right.
People give up their lives to come here.
Yeah, why?
Have you ever lived in another country before?
No, not lived, no.
Why do you think so many want to come here?
I think the people coming here are coming from gang-ridden, corruption-ridden, violence.
Yeah, law and order is important, I guess.
You think that's just all it is? You think I came from a gang-ridden in Iran? I lived there 11 years.
I think the majority of, certainly coming from South America.
Most people come here because what you're doing to me, you're sitting across from me right now.
Right.
Millions of people are going to watch this. In America, you can call me out. You can say whatever you want.
Right.
Nothing's going to happen.
Right.
You're free and safe here, right?
Sure. Freedom of speech is
not in Iran. Of course it is. There's a lot of elements with America. You're talking incentive. The amount of benefits America offers against other countries, it's so much higher. Where somebody with big dreams, incentives, they're willing to come and say, I want to come to America, please let me in. and
Right.
some come and take advantage of it.
True.
But to say the individual that's working 3 to 5 jobs, if you do that for a season, if you do that for 2 years, if you do that
cooking.
for 5 years, fine.
cooking.
If you do that for 20, 30 years, you're doing something wrong.
Just a quick interruption.
I agree. I actually agree with that. You are doing something wrong if it's taking you so many years and you literally can't get on your feet. I mean, obviously, there's luck, there's fate. You got every argument in the universe. There's circumstance, but vast majority of cases. Come on, dude.
Interruption, guys. Do not forget to smash that like button. Get this
of course,
message out
obviously.
far and wide.
Yes, I will be linking this in the description, obviously. Also, definitely up those numbers. Subscribe to me, too. We do retard breakdowns on this channel. We find the retards, and we tear them to shreds because they deserve it, because they're retards. They were born that way. It's my right to make fun of retards, all right? You have your rights, I have mine.
Especially if you're enjoying the video, and also
You have the right to exist, I have the right to make fun of you for existing. Listen, it's a good relationship that we have, me and the retards.
if you haven't hit subscribe, what are you doing?
True.
Let's get back to it.
But the point is, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, right? Those are the inalienable.
Is that really the point of life? Hippie McGee, happiness and the pursuit of happiness? What about giving to your fellow man? What about that? That was the last 6 bitches that came on to debate this guy we're talking about. Like, I love that this dude figured it all out.
rights? We shouldn't have to earn those rights. We shouldn't have to earn the right to
You
health
do
care.
have to earn it.
I think you should. Yeah, I do. You don't have any rights. Rights don't exist. Rights aren't a real thing. The rights are made up. My incredibly hot take for you guys is rights are not real. Rights are an illusion. The right of free speech, you don't have the right to free speech. America lets you have free speech. All right, there's no such thing as rights. The only right you have is freedom of decision. That's the only thing you got. Free will is your only right. Other than that, you got nothing. You got fucking nothing. The retards. Life would be so boring without the retards.
Earn the right. No,
I
because
actually-
this is just, we just want to live, exist.
Yeah, you are such a selfish person. Okay, it's so selfish. It's so unbelievably selfish. Do these people even understand how selfish they are when they say shit like this? We just want to exist! So therefore you have to give me the money that you earned. Like, holy shit, bro.
We can't work our...
I feel like I'm the only guy that does this, okay? I know a lot of people, like, break up debates and talk about debates, but I feel like I'm the only person that actually calls these cretins for what they are. I don't know if people are scared of getting canceled or some shit, but this is retarded. I have to sit here and listen to these bitches moan and cry about how I actually have to work for a living. Like, what the fuck is this?
Our blood, sweat, and tears just to survive. That's
Yeah.
a horrible dystopian world that we live in, right?
It is literally not, all right? This is the utopia compared to the past, where people were literally starving. Like, hello? There were literally people dying of hunger in almost every generation of humanity until now, okay? There is not one American dying of hunger. It doesn't exist. It literally doesn't exist. Okay, it's not a real thing. There is an obesity crisis. There is not a hunger crisis in America. Okay, stop with this fucking bullshitting.
Well, then what do you think we're here for? To just sit around and play video games?
We're
What are we
here-
here for? To
we're-
sit around and watch TV shows? To sit and watch cat
we're
videos?
Here, we
What
are
do you think
here. We are
to do?
here to create a prosperous community to lift
How do you
every.
get
And how are people gonna do this if they're sitting at home and jerking it all day? Which, let's be real, everyone will sit at home with an AI girlfriend and a free paycheck comes in because everyone's living in a socialist utopia? Like, what the shit is happening?
Prosperous community. How do you create a prosperous community? Matter of fact, for you, how have you positively impacted a community?
I guess volunteering, food banks.
I appreciate you for doing that. Have you created jobs for others?
Created jobs? No,
Yeah.
I wouldn't say
Why
so.
have you not?
Uh-oh.
I haven't had the ability to do so.
Do you think it's easy or do you think it's hard?
To create jobs is probably hard. Yeah.
Yeah, well, thank God for capitalists, am I right? You get millions of employees in Walmarts, millions of employees in Starbucks, millions of employees in Microsoft and in Apple. Now, you could say that the people that are running these companies are gigantic, greedy fucks, and they probably are, but millions of people could put bread on the table because of them. And here you are, shaming them for not contributing, while you are probably knitting fucking drapes for your RV.
Okay, so the people that create jobs, you think they should have a little bit of incentive for having risked their life savings, spend time away their families to create jobs so somebody like you can work for that company?
Sure, but that
is
not,
the incentive.
And bravo for them, but that does not give them the right to pay themselves $2 million bonuses.
You
while
don't-
they're,
you-
The right? Wait. You're sitting here saying that literally every person on the planet deserves all these rights. The right to everything free because we exist and we shouldn't work. But the people that are actually pouring their blood, sweat, and tears into building millions of jobs, they don't have the right to decide what to do with the money that they are generating? Dude, these people are so divorced from basic reality and morality. Find God.
Their workers are scraping by at like
you don't get to choose how much money I choose to make. That's not your business. That's my business.
Exactly. You do not get to choose what the highly industrious and creative people get to pay themselves. And look,
these people be like, my body, my choice. I'm gonna murder my baby. But also, you don't have the right to decide how much money you make from your own company. Like, what are we fucking doing?
when you're talking about monopolies, the upper echelon, I understand there's a different conversation to be had there. But these people aren't talking about those guys. They're talking about millionaires. They're talking about people who are small business owners. They think that they should have to redistribute their wealth. No, thank you. Creating jobs, like he said, is
Dude, every socialist, you know, look at Bernie Sanders, right? Bernie Sanders is going out there saying there should be no millionaires. No millionaires. Millionaires, they're all bad. Then he became a millionaire. Now he's only going after the billionaires. Pretty weird, huh?
not easy. It comes with a lot of risks and liabilities, and it all falls on the business owner.
And lawsuits. Right, risks, liabilities, lawsuits. Like, dude, there's so much. There really is. Like, dude, I'm a big fan of capitalism myself.
Things go wrong, it's not going to be the employees that deal with the bankruptcy or the legal problems. It's the owner. So if you want to take the big risk, you should get the big reward. And so the next one here is another good example of PBD putting his money where his mouth is and really getting it beneath the surface of their talking points. So basically, I'll summarize it for you guys. This lady says something along the lines of yap, 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 rich man bad, capitalist mean, socialism good.
Yeah,
rich man bad. And the way that Patrick handles this is very telling.
I want to say that I think it's pretty comical that an elite such as yourself has
An elite? Who decides who the elites are? This dude worked for everything.
the goal to tell us average Americans who's in poverty and who's not.
Excuse me. Did you decide to come to this debate knowing that you were going up against some capitalism guy? Yes? Shut the fuck up. Dude, this emotional, like, woman bullshit is crazy. It's so annoying. And they all have it. This is not exclusive to women, actually. It's actually exclusive to leftists. I've noticed. What is going on?
A lot of times,
I was an average American.
You're
I
not
was
anymore.
a guy that was in poverty.
You're not anymore.
And you can also
you're
change. You can also change.
How much did she spend on her lips?
Anyways,
Believe
you're
you can
talking down.
change?
You're talking down! Bro, you're poor! You're poor! Boo! Poor! Brokey! Look, I'm not a big fan of flexing wealth. I don't make fun of people unless they deserve it. This bitch be poor! She's so poor, baby.
Yep, rich man bad, capitalist mean
true.
good.
That's what's
Rich
happening.
man.
You're sitting here blaming a person who's changed their lives for the better.
True.
And it's their fault. My dad was
This is not the United
my
States.
dad, do you know where?
Yeah.
United States of America.
I know, and I'm
all
so
of our
grateful to
people.
be here. I'm
And you
so
say
grateful
that,
to
but are
be
you
here.
willing
I
so
am
that other
so
people don't
grateful to
suffer?
be here.
Are you willing to pay more
I
taxes
am
so
so
other people don't
grateful
suffer?
He pays millions. How much do you pay to taxes? Like, this is such a fucking retarded. First of all, I think taxes are too high. We got to get taxes down across the board. That's one. There should not be more than 10 to 20% tax on literally anything. That's insane. Property taxes and sales taxes, that's all fucking bullshit too. We got to get rid of all that too. Absolutely. Maybe Trump's tariffs will switch out for the IRS or something. But that's obviously bullshit. It really is. Now, with that all said and done, it's not his job to fund everyone he can. It's nice if he does. And bitch, if you take any money from the government for anything, for food stamps, for social security, for any of the money, you take any money from the government, you should be thanking the millionaires. You should wake up every morning and say, thank you, God, for giving me life, and thank you, millionaires, because now I live and exist. I know that obviously this is going to offend some people, but that's why I say it. That's why I say it. I don't actually think you should add millionaires to your prayers, but I do think you deserve to at least give them a curtsy when you see a millionaire, because, you know, it's because of them that you are literally alive. Based millionaires. Based millionaire. Let's go fucking million. I just say it to annoy people at this point. I really do. And it works so well.
Be here.
I see you're skirting the question.
My dad was a cashier in Inglewood at a 99-cent store.
Damn.
That's
We
great.
had nothing. No, I don't tell you that's great. We had nothing.
know
I'm
where
the
this
guy
is
that had
going.
I'm the guy that had a
Propaganda that you guys-
Propaganda? This is his life. Now, this bitch wondering why she ain't making money. I see a lot of people say, why do you call women bitches sometimes? Because they act like bitches. What am I supposed to do? Oh my God. If she act like a bitch, she a bitch. What is this? What is going on? This is America. I can call whoever I want a bitch.
Be like me.
But what you don't want to hear is
Under
that because it's the
capitalism,
truth.
we
Can I
cannot
ask you a
all
question?
be like you.
When's the last time you read a business book? When's the last time you
good
read a
question.
self-help book?
I don't need to answer that. Oh,
When's the last time you read a self-help book?
don't need to answer.
a self-help book.
Never. The answer is never. She can't read.
I'm a writer. I'm a creative.
Tell me-
She's a writer and a creative. That means she does nothing for her living. She is the people behind the Twitter account that is bitching to you about titties in video games. Okay? That's what she does for a living. A writer and a creative? Yeah. Sounds like someone that is trying to cancel someone on Twitter for being transphobic.
What
And I
self-help
also-
book you read?
I'm not.
Give
I
me
don't
one.
need to.
Give me one you read. Are you willing to take one recommendation?
No.
You're not. Then I can't help you.
That's okay. I don't need your help. I didn't come here.
I don't need your help. I don't need help. But also, I am literally living on the dime of the taxpayer because I don't actually work for a living, and everyone should give me everything that they make. Unbelievable cognitive dissonance. That was cinema. That was beautiful.
Blacked out.
Good.
Awesome.
Bye.
So we've seen throughout this debate where these people are coming up with all of these points from their professors and from TikTok about the patriarchy and about capitalism. And then Patrick offers them something, some advice or even more, a real helping hand, and all of a sudden they crumble. This is because in order to survive in this little world...
It's the victim complex. They need to be the victims in the victim complex. And the moment they leave their little victim complex, they will be talking down at everyone else. If they actually do make it, they will look down at everyone immediately.
...that they live in, these people must have a victim mentality.
We
Can I
cannot
ask you a
all
question?
be like you.
I mean, if you're going to spend your entire life pointing the finger at others and saying, all of my problems are because of external forces and they're beyond my control, and no matter what I do, it's the system that won't let me succeed, then the ideas of accountability and self-ownership are like holy water to the demon. On to the next.
So what do we do to basically ensure that people like myself
I'm
who
telling you, this dude is going to be amazing. I was looking at him the whole time. All right, this guy's going to be awesome.
are currently, thank you to the United States.
What the shit is he wearing? He's wearing a tablecloth. He's wearing a grandma's tablecloth.
Thank you to
We
the
are all part of Gaia's great tapestry, okay?
state of California for giving me medical insurance to get blood work, for giving
You're thanking California for medical insurance, but how's California making the money? How is California making the money to give it to you? Oh, it's the millionaires. Oh, so what you're really saying is thank you, millionaires. That's what really you're saying.
me food stamps so I can have food. I've
Yeah, the millionaires are doing that. Shout out to the millionaires.
applied to, I don't know how many hundreds of jobs. I can show you
Can't believe they're not hiring this guy. I will hire him in an instant.
the receipts. I can show you the email confirmations. Like, I am trying my
Nose ring detected, opinion rejected.
best to use my values with the freedom that we have
So if
here.
I gave you a job, you would work 40 hours a week?
If the job is in alignment with something that's noble and good, I think I could. The issue is
All right, here we go. Personal subjective ethics. Here we go again. More people with their personal subjective ethical boundaries. That's right. All right, so now define alignment with things that are good.
And again, you may say that this is a personal weakness, but like right now, substitute teaching, tutoring, trying to help in that way is making it so that I'm able to scratch by.
Yeah.
But without the supplemental income and the help from the society of people who make more money,
but
I'm
let's-
going to not have
if
enough
I may,
food.
I wanna-
You also realize if taxes go down, then the minimum wage will probably go up, right? Like you realize that is also part of reality too. Like if there wouldn't be social benefits everywhere that are literally being funded by the taxpayers, the ones that are actually making money. And if let's say everyone has double the money because there's no 50% tax, right? This is just making up numbers. Then the minimum wage will also go up, right? You do know that that's true.
I want to address something which you made a point that I agree with on why don't some people create wealth. In my family, when I was growing up, and I was telling this young lady over here, when my dad was a
What's
cashier.
the claim? What's his claim for this one? If all the money in the world were divided equally, it would return to the same pockets in 5 years. Yeah, that's cap. I don't think that's true. I think he's wrong, and I'll tell you why. Because there's one motherfucker that just won a lottery, and that dude is gonna lose all of his money in this redistribution, and money ain't never coming back to that motherfucker because he just got it through luck. So that guy's not getting the money back, so it wouldn't return to the exact same pockets in 5 years. But I do agree with the sentiment.
You're at a 99-cent store. We've never owned an insurance policy before. My parents, we've never owned a house before. I've never lived in an apartment with a swimming pool before. We've never had a 401k stock mutual fund, none of that stuff. I had no clue how money worked. So for
I really feel like that's the majority of people in America. I really, really do. I think most people just don't understand how money works. They get out of high school, they take student loans, they get a degree in fucking nothing, then they're in debt for the rest of their life, and they fuck themselves at a really young age, and it's so sad. When literally they could be doing so much to give themselves such a crazy head start. Dude, most people's lives don't actually start until they're in their late 20s, early 30s. For better or for worse, that's kind of how it is in America right now. If you could take that 10 years from after high school and funnel as big of a percent of that as you possibly can into like the S&P 500, all right? You will literally make millions. Millions. Not even exaggerating. People don't know this.
For me, when I got out of the Army with a 1.8 GPA, out of high school, I went straight to the Army because I didn't know how money works. If you look at our system today, in high school, We learn about a lot of different things. They don't teach us about taxes, finances, mutual funds, stocks, bonds. Colleges don't even teach a lot of that right now. So
Do you
come
work
out.
in a high school?
Did I work at a high school?
Have you have experience like me, someone who's essentially on those front lines working in?
I've worked with many high school teachers and the directors of psychology to talk to the youth. Yes,
So
I have.
right now, I'm in a position where I have options, like you said. I do have some options, but they seem to be somewhat destructive and exploitative of me, of...
Oh my fucking god, the hippies! Why are they all hippies? The hippie communist alliance. No one ever saw it.
my peers. So I'm trying
I think
to
you're too
discriminate.
selective for jobs right now. You don't have the ability
It's
to be
destructive, guys.
selective at this.
Oh my god, do you have to use ChatGPT for your job? Well, ChatGPT is AI. AI is exploitative, so it goes against my ethical moral code.
Stage.
Well,
If-
but the
if
thing
you
is,
wanna make
because I'm
some-
instilled with a freedom that is maybe God universe given, and I don't actually have
Yeah.
to, because of the system, like you said, I don't have to play along with some corrupt game.
Yeah, so why are you bitching? All right, so you chose to live a life living off the land or whatever the fuck you do. Fuck sheep and shit, whatever it is that makes you happy. You are going out there, you're living off the land. You don't have to work, and why? So why are you complaining you're broke? You decided not to play the game. Fine, this is what you get. What should I be giving you infinite money because you decided that you don't want to play the game? You don't want to contribute to society in meaningful ways? Like, what are we doing?
So I gave up.
I think it's
here.
perfect for someone like you.
Well,
True.
thankfully,
They're all retarded.
I think it
California
is.
agrees, but
Yep.
So Patrick is exactly right here when he says that California is the perfect place for this guy. And this guy didn't realize that Patrick
Yeah, that was a
making
massive insult. He was making fun of him.
fun of him when he said that.
well, thankfully,
Yeah, I think it
California
is.
agrees. But
Yep.
This dude is walking around dressed like a peasant in the Roman Empire BC, saying that he's doing substitute teacher work, but he feels like it's kind
Would
of...
you let this dude substitute teach your kids? I don't know, man. If I like hired a substitute teacher or something, and he showed up looking like that, like, bro, I would not let that dude in my house. I'm not gonna lie.
exploitative, but it's getting him by, as well as a bunch of government assistance, and he would consider working for Patrick if it was in alignment. It's like only in California, only in these unbelievably comfortable places, can people walk around looking like this, being supported by the taxpayer dollars that are paid by the very people
And complain.
who they are pointing the finger
Yeah,
at
these
as the
titled
problem,
pussies.
whilst being fussy about employment opportunities and complaining about working 9 hours a week as a substitute teacher or a tutor. I mean, one of my favorite quotes from Jordan Peterson.
So I just sit back and I align my chakras with the universe. All right, I work 9 hours a week so that the rest of my week I could just spend jerking off and fucking animals. You know, get in alignment with the universe. You know what I'm saying?
Is that we are living off of the rotting flesh of our ancestors. And if we don't replenish it, then we are in big trouble because it's finite. And I think that people like this are just a fine example of that.
True.
So anyways, let's carry on.
you mentioned earlier in a previous discussion that we have free
So
speech.
to
We
be
can
clear, I don't hate this guy. I just think he's brain rotted. I think that whatever fucking cult he's in, they fucked this guy up.
say what we want.
Right.
But the thing is, have you been punched on the train for
You fucking kidding me? This dude grew up broke in Iran. Of course.
how you look and how you share?
He's literally an Iranian. Aren't these guys sitting here preaching fucking racism all day?
Do I look like an American to you? Do you see this nose?
No, I'm just asking,
I'm Middle
has-
Eastern. You know what's happened to this guy? You know what's happened to me when I was discriminated all over the place?
So do you really feel like that's free speech
No,
if you're being
but I don't mind
punished
it. I
in-
don't.
by people who
I
have
don't.
pressed
I
against
don't
you?
mind it because I understand there is risk that you may be disrespected. They're like here.
She's so mad that he's not curling into a ball and blaming racism. They're like, "Wah, I want him to say, well, I am the victim. I want him to be a victim too.
I've been disrespected here many times. I've been offended here many times. A lot of you are coming here finding a way to attack me and tell different stories. I'm okay with that.
don't want to attack you.
You're being very respectful. I'm not talking about you. But what I'm saying to you is, when you say, have you ever been punched in the face on a bus? You don't want to hear about what things has happened to me because of the way I look.
Because I feel
but
like
I don't want to use
you've
that.
been through a lot of trauma
I don't
in your
wanna-
life.
but what
Oh my
I-
God, what are you, his therapist now?
Now you're kind of clinging to things
I'm
that
not.
Oh my God, dude, he's like capitalism good, and his response is, you went through trauma, so you're clinging to things that make you feel whole. Oh my fucking God. Oh my Lord.
What I don't
I
want to
think
do
you
that.
are.
I have my son is sitting
I
like.
think you are. I've spoken to you for 30 seconds now. This is my psychological analysis. I'm a substitute teacher and sheep fucker. No, this is a joke. I don't think he actually fucks sheep.
You know, my 13-year-old son, I have 4 kids. I bring them everywhere. I want them to see that it's okay. People gonna disagree with you. You have to be comfortable with this.
all the time.
That's the context. Okay, that's a substitute teacher. Okay. Oh, look.
You are with 13-year-olds all the time.
What do you mean? It sounds so wrong. It sounds so bad. No.
Because of my job, because I'm a substitute teacher and a tutor. The thing is, you can imply many different things, and that is your right. But what I'm saying is right now, I care deeply.
He cares so deeply. All these people, it's a group of people that are making believe they care so deeply. They're all of their vaginas are, you know, curled up and soaking wet as they care so deeply about how they want to take money away from people that earn it and take it for themselves, even though they didn't earn it. Man, I really appreciate these guys.
About having a good experience. The incentive that I feel is for peace and prosperity.
I respect it.
And again, I'm using my freedom now, but the issue is you're saying we have all these options, but whenever I tour globe, I see franchises.
Bro, you literally work 9 hours a week as a substitute teacher. You have options. Oh, my Lord.
That have monopolized pretty much everywhere.
Sure.
So when you talk
You
about
decided to cosplay Jesus, okay? You made that decision.
options, it's really, there's these select few people who have this infrastructure that's really benefiting them more than others. And
all right, what is everyone doing with their flags? Pick up your fucking flag. Get this guy out. All right, listen, he seems nice and stuff, but this dude's delusion.
some sort of conscious, spiritual, moral awakening, what can we do except for beg and appeal and
beg and appeal or get a job?
Well, no, you can't be too selective.
Please pick up the fucking flag. He's wearing, look at his fucking shoes. Get him out, please.
I don't like that
Oh
word.
my God.
Can't because I can't whenever I can.
So he spends a lot of time
my
around
God, that was a
kids.
nightmare.
Just imagine you are dropping your kid off to do some tutoring, or you've hired the tutor and the tutor comes
And then the tutor comes and teaches you to connect to Gaia's infinite tapestry of the universe. Oh my Lord.
around to the house looking like that. Yeah. No thanks, buddy. On to the next now, where the victim mentality is on display in a huge way.
So one of the things that
Oh, this guy. I saw this guy in all the viral clips.
stated is that
I
we
didn't see the clips, but I saw the guy.
have options. Okay, so just to give you a little bit
You had the option to get a different haircut, and yet you chose this one. I just want to make that clear.
of my background, I come from a divorced family, and we lived below the poverty level from the time that I was born
That's difficult.
until now, frankly. So I'm one of those people that you're talking about that isn't pulling themselves up by their bootstraps enough. Which, like, I didn't have boots to begin with, and
Oh my
like,
God, dude.
I don't know if you've ever had boots, but like legs are load-bearing
relate.
structures,
This guy a comedian?
Relate.
and like you can't really pull up a boot when you're wearing it, you know?
That is literally the expression. The expression is literally doing it while you're wearing it. You're pulling yourself. Okay.
So where exactly am I failing when I am working 80 hours a week?
80 hours a week. All right.
I am taking the only jobs that will hire me. I have put in 477 applications over the last 2.5 years. Not even gotten a call back once.
Why do you think?
You tell me. You're a job creator.
But I don't know your resume. You know your life better than I do. Why do you think you have not gotten a call back on 477?
Maybe it's because you look like a Viking.
Because
Because a lot
I
of
do
people
not
get
have a degree.
callbacks. Okay.
Because I do not have a degree.
I
Because
don't
I could
either.
not afford one.
Okay.
You don't need a degree to work at Burger King, brother.
I live in an area where the physical job market is very limiting.
All right. You could A, get an online job, B, move.
Where do you live?
I live in rural Texas.
Okay.
So in that, like in the town that I grew up in, for instance, there are 8 jobs, period.
Maybe. Don't believe you, but anyway, maybe.
Does your family live there? Mom, dad, everybody's in that same city?
Everybody was at one point.
Okay.
Most of them are dead now.
Okay, sorry to hear.
It is what it is. It's poverty. You know,
Oh, give me a fucking break. Oh, it's poverty. People dying everywhere. This is so fucking bullshit. All right, rich people die. Poor people die. Everyone dies. All right, the Grim Reaper comes for us all. And it's not about the poverty necessarily. Okay, no one's dying of starvation in America. It's not a thing. Brother, you could lose a couple of pounds, if anything. Like, enough of this victim bullshit.
kind of used to that on this side.
Kinda used to that. People just dying of poverty. No one's fucking dying of poverty in America. It's not a thing. It is not a real thing. I'm sure that I'm gonna have one guy in my comments saying it's a thing. You're wrong, one guy in the comments. I see you and I appreciate you for being here. Definitely subscribe. But you're wrong. It's not a thing. People are not just dropping dead of poverty. Oh my God. Go to any church, okay, and they will give you food. You go to any community center and they will give you food, aside from the government benefits and shit.
Why do you feel like you're a victim? Why do you feel like you're a victim? Why do you feel like the way you speak, like, you know, you're the victim where all this happened?
Dude, this guy's insufferable. I wouldn't hire him.
to you?
Because I exist and things happen to
Why do
you.
you say
Oh my god, he's such a fucking loser.
Things happen, and that's why I say that they happen
You're
to
a
me.
good-looking guy. Why
Thanks.
do you think you're a victim? Why do you think you're somebody that's got into
But
situation?
you can't work in McDonald's? Can't work in Burger King, brother? Can't flip burgers? I mean, to be honest, if I was a manager at Burger King, I wouldn't hire this guy. He seems insufferable. But what, you can't do that?
Because it's not fair what happened to me. Let me give you a couple options.
Sure.
Are you open to leaving the city you're in?
I've already left it.
So what city?
I've left multiple cities.
So if somebody else gave you a job in a different place, you'd be
100%.
willing to move there?
100%.
Okay. On your resume,
It says that.
What do you have on your resume? Skill set. What do you offer?
Transportation expertise, logistics expertise.
You consider yourself a hard worker.
I mean, I feel
You
like
said
80 hours a week.
That's a
something like
hard
that.
worker.
Sure.
How about we do this? How about I interview you and I give you a job? Would you move to Fort Lauderdale?
What the fuck was that scoff? A guy worth $500 million offered you a job when 477 jobs rejected you? Take it in a second.
Ooh, man, that's Florida. Sure, why not?
Would you move to Fort Lauderdale?
Sure, why not?
How about you and I?
Be grateful. Say thank you. What the fuck is this?
I document this. After this, you come, I do an interview with you, and I give you a job. And let's see what you do 90 days later.
Okay, I'll look up your company and
Bro,
all
you say thank you, fucking yes, I'll take the interview. What are you doing?
that kind of stuff, and I'll see it.
But you
like,
see what just happened?
Why is he acting like such a bitch?
regardless,
But
Mike.
watch what you just did.
Sure.
You just said you applied to 477 companies who's not gone back to you. A business owner who's hiring aggressively just made an offer to you. You said you're willing to move. Then you said, I'll look at it. You became selective.
I didn't
You
say I look at it. If you'd let me finish my sentence.
I want to hear it.
I would like to look into your company to see exactly what you guys do.
You would like to?
Because I don't know what you guys do.
He's offering the job after you said you have logistics expertise. All right? What are you talking about? Like, he's literally trying to come up with reasons why he doesn't want to take the job. He's trying his absolute best to be the victim. He'd rather be a victim than successful. And that's what all of these people have in common. Every single one of them would rather be a victim than actually work. Because they're lazy and they're losers and they're entitled assholes that, in my opinion, have been morphed by social media, by colleges, by whatever the fuck it was, that morphed them into this, where they don't want to work hard. They would rather be the victim and complain. That's why you have all these girls on TikTok coming out self-diagnosing themselves with infinite fucking mental disorders, because they'd rather be the victim than work.
Okay. So as far as I'm concerned, I may be wasting my time going. If you guys are,
I may be wasting my time. He's offering you an interview.
Finance company, if you guys are a bank or something like that, I don't have the certifications, I don't have the degrees.
He literally said he knows that you don't have the degrees. He's offering you the job anyway after you said you have logistic expertise. What the fuck is happening here? Am I like, dude, this guy is the best example so far. This is a perfect example. A perfect, pristine example of the bullshit we were talking about.
So even interviewing me would be a moot
What if I
point.
gave you a job, period, to work 80 hours a week? Would you take it? And I paid you a reasonable wage.
Are we talking a livable wage or a
Oh my god! These people are fucking insufferable.
reasonable wage?
What-
I literally want to kill myself. Is this America's youth? Is this what happened? These fucking losers wasting their lives?
What
Right
version
now.
of reasonable are we
What do you
talking
make
about?
right
Your
now?
version of reasonable or my version of
But you
reasonable?
see, so now, for me, what I'm noticing from you is
I need specifics?
no, not
No, this isn't about specifics. If it was about specifics, you'd say, what are the specifics? Okay, you wouldn't say, I'll look into it. I'll see what happens. I don't know, maybe I'll say.
necessarily. No, most of the people I hired need
I might not want to waste my time and do all this. No, you would say, what are the specifics? I'm very interested. Unless you'd rather be a victim than work, which, in my opinion, is the reality. Again, you have to realize this person's claiming he's working 80 hours a week. In my opinion, that's straight bullshit. I don't believe that even for a second, because this guy doesn't have a job. This is an unemployed guy working 80 hours a week. This is straight horse shit, victim mentality garbage, right? Everyone likes to posture and make believe they're working super hard, when in reality, they would rather fail at life than work.
specifics. The difference is I'm trying to hire them. In this instance, you're trying to get a job and you're being selective. It's going to work against you.
I mean, I'm not trying to get a job. Originally, I was
My
trying to
offer is
ask you where
He literally just offered you a job. You said you were interested, so now you are trying to get a job.
the moral
My
or the
offer's
moral.
off the table
Okay, that's
because
fine.
you're going to be difficult to work with.
Okay,
Based as fuck. Literally don't give him the job. Why the fuck would you hire this guy?
sure. But my question was, where is my moral failing? Like, where is it that you are saying that I am not working hard enough and I am not doing
I just
enough?
experienced
We just literally saw it in real time. You have a guy with $500 million that offered him a job, and he acted like a complete condescending asshole about it. literally say thank you and kiss his ass. What are we doing?
Right now, because the way you just handled the situation.
Got it. So I should accept anything that somebody gives me at first blush if it is a guaranteed thing.
No, not necessarily.
I agreed to do your interview. I agreed to be interviewed by you.
Dude, we all saw it happen. He's gonna try his best to walk it back, try to get back in his good graces. It's not happening. The world saw you as a fraud, and I think this is 90% of this fucking group too.
Agreed to consider me for hiring.
Yeah.
So therefore, I am taking that opportunity. I've chosen to. But because I am asking you for specifics, your immediate reaction is that, oh, well, you're trying to be picky. I'm not. I'm asking
specifics. You could have simply
I said I need to look up your company. That's all I said.
You could have said is, I'm willing to have the interview.
And I did.
You would have had the interview.
And I did.
No, you said it depends.
I said,
I don't
yeah,
know.
sure.
Let me look.
Yeah, sure. I
Dude,
would
we
look
all
into your
saw
company.
it.
That's all I said.
I appreciate
Nice
you.
coat, brother.
Thank you, James.
Okay, so first of all, a lot of his story actually...
I think that was the best one by far. Literally, like such a telling tale.
Doesn't make sense. He said that he's in rural Texas and that in the town that he grew up in, there was only a total of 8
jobs. Bullshit. Yeah,
jobs.
I called that out.
But then he said that he moved out of that town. Okay, so
now you're in another town with more jobs. And then he's saying he doesn't have a job and everyone's rejecting him, but he's also working 80 hours a week.
Now there's hopefully more than 8
Dude,
jobs.
you can get a job as an Uber. If you are literally some sort of logistics guy where you're traveling and driving and stuff, you could literally get a job as an Uber anywhere. Like fucking losers, these people. Like they don't want to win. They don't want to succeed. It's not about that. It's about the entitlement. It's about the victim bullshit. Makes them feel special when they feel like everyone needs to kneel before their victim garbage.
Then he said that he sent 477 different applications to various different employers. I mean, that's a lot of different applications. And by this point, if nobody gets back to you, then I would probably be wondering if it's something on my end. But then he also says that he works 80 hours a week. So if he's working 80 hours a week, then someone must have gotten back to him. But then, amongst all of this, amongst the barrage of sort of victimhood,
lies,
Patrick Ben David, a guy worth hundreds of millions of dollars, offers him a job. And he laughs at him and turns his nose up at it.
I give you a job.
I mean, let's just put this into perspective for a second. You are on...
Let's put this into perspective. You are retarded. Thank you so much for exposing your gigantic fraud movement to the world.
An internet show that gets millions and millions of views. It'll get clipped up and it'll get put into shorts, and your face is about to be seen millions and millions of times.
True.
You have absolutely no right to be there. You have no right to this opportunity. You're just a guy.
I mean, to be honest, this dude's never getting a job. Like, who's going to employ him after you see this? He's going to be the most annoying employee of all time. Why would anyone hire this guy?
Who applied for something, and now you have this opportunity. You have Patrick Ben David across from you, worth hundreds of millions, has just offered you a job. He said that we will document the process and we'll see where you're at in 3 months. All of a sudden, you have conservatively hundreds of thousands of people that would be interested to see that process. Now, the smart thing to do would have been to take him up on the offer, to say, okay, maybe I'm wrong here. Let's see what happens. I'll take him up on this offer, and in 3 months, we'll see where I'm at if I follow his guidance. Make yourself a social media account. People will follow the journey. And if you do it right, and if you humble yourself,
he's right.
100%, I guarantee you...
Can't humble yourself. These people are literally built on ego and narcissism. That's why the Victim Olympics works. The moment I hear someone on TikTok saying that I've self-identified with a fucking mental disorder, I immediately tune out. In my opinion, that's literally someone that is retarded for their decisions, but not scientifically. I mean retarded as a slur, not as a diagnosis.
But that man's life would have completely changed that day. But he laughed at Patrick Ben David. And the reason why is because he has a victim mentality.
True.
And he would rather stay a victim.
Why do you feel like the way you speak, you're the victim where all this happened to you?
Because I exist and things happen to you.
And it doesn't stop, guys. Watch the next one as Patrick once again exposes the underlying mentality and what causes these people to act the way that they do.
What's the chances that any of you here voted for Donald Trump in 2024?
Exactly. Yo, so perfect. So perfect. That's right. All the Kamala retards gathered together to victim blame. Oh my God. It's cinema. It's absolute cinema. The party of freaks and retards. Oh my Lord.
What is the chances that all of you here can't stand the phrase MAGA, Donald Trump, any of that stuff? Is that a fair assessment? Fair. Okay.
Bro, why do they all have the nose ring?
Can't stand the phrase MAGA, Donald Trump, any of that stuff.
Wee woo, wee woo, wee woo.
Is that a fair assessment? Fair. Okay.
Yeah, so it's your
So
point.
think about it this way. So maybe you're right that the Democratic Party that's been earning your vote for a long time wants to keep you there because they'll have your vote.
They all have it, bro. They all have... Dude, nose ring detected, opinion rejected. Retard found immediately.
You're right.
They have never earned my
Oh,
vote.
good job. She voted for fucking Jill Stein or like the third party candidate. She's a Hassan fan.
Vote for in 2024.
In 24, I voted for the socialist candidate.
Who was that?
Claudia de la Cruz, I believe.
Who did you vote for in 2020?
I was actually not able to vote. I was in a hospital.
Oh,
Right.
I'm so sorry.
Yes,
sorry to
because
hear.
of results of capitalism.
You were in the hospital because of capitalism. Like, dude, we are reaching, bro. Like, we are fucking reaching, man.
Tell me more.
Yeah, so I didn't have access to proper health
Why
care.
is the inside of your mouth black? Like, these people are like evil. Oh my god. I know that someone's gonna say, why are you making fun of the retarded girl? It's because she's retarded, obviously. That's why we're making fun of her. Because, to be honest, I don't think there's anything wrong with her. I think all the things wrong with her are things she did for herself.
Or even access to a proper job that would sustain me as a disabled person.
Are you
Oh, she's a disabled person. Self-diagnosed?
comfortable being specific on what happened?
I
You
guess
don't have
so.
to if you're not
I mean,
comfortable
I'm
with it.
also mentally ill, so
Of course, mentally ill. Disabled, mentally ill, we know. I saw the nose ring, it's over.
that was something I had to deal with. But
that's rough.
I'm mainly mentally ill because I am disabled, and
She's disabled because she's mentally ill, and she's mentally ill because she's disabled. You know why this happened? Capitalism. Because you have to work to make money. That's why it happened.
capitalist country.
Tell me more about mentally
If she lived in North Korea, they'd love her. They'd fucking love her. She'd become God Emperor of the world.
ill. Who qualified you as somebody that's mentally ill?
My psychiatrist.
Me and my doctor team.
Yeah, it's over. Me and my team. She's self-diagnosed. It's over. Me and my team. Yeah, it's over. Dude, she literally checks all the boxes I've been saying the entire time. Do I know retards or do I know retards?
Who convinced you that
Me
you're
and my team.
mentally ill?
Me and my doctor team.
Yeah, me and my team. It's over. I was making fun of the self-diagnosed people the whole time, and she shows up here. Oh my, nose ring at all. It's cinema. Absolute cinema.
The specific category of mental illness. Is there one? You know why I asked this? Let me explain to why I asked this
So
question.
I don't even like the psychological industry. I don't really stand for like Sigmund Freudian politics or
Sure.
anything like that.
Yeah, Sigmund Freud has nothing to do with politics, but anyway.
So if you're
Yeah, I
going to
asked-
debate the ethics of psychology,
I'm not. Where I'm going with this
She's
is
just asking what your illness is, lady, but if you invented it, that's okay.
back to the same thing with if the money were to divide it equally, it'll
Yeah.
end up being worked out within 5 years. My trouble is, in many cases, somebody you and I look up to will say something to us that we choose to believe for the rest of our lives. Unfortunately, it could be something where you have ADHD.
Dude, I feel so bad for Patrick Ben David. He has to talk to these people like I can have normal discussions with these people. Oh my god, this is fucking awesome. Oh my.
You're mentally ill, you're poor, you're this, you're
But
that,
why-
and we get to choose to buy into that or not. And if you do,
Buy into it. My mental illness is totally real. Yeah, I look a little like Lumpy Space Princess from Adventure Time, but it's totally real. And it's because of capitalism.
So you're saying I'm not mentally ill or I'm not
not saying
disabled?
you
Well, you didn't tell us the illness. I don't know. What am I supposed to say? I mean, you look mentally ill. You know, the nose ring, the piercings, the makeup.
or you're not, I would challenge it to go a little bit deeper to see if there's anything you can do about it.
So you're asking me about my health. You're asking
You literally show up here and you say that you can't get a job because of your health. And it's like, what's the issue? And it's like, you're asking me because of my health?
me about my disability
I'm not.
and my...
I will say we are in a market where, stay with me here, there is a market where there's profit to convince you that you have issues to take the
Oh my god, he's going down the pharmaceutical company rabbit hole. Support.
medication because they're making money.
Yeah, but I
and
don't
I'm
have
not
access to
supportive
the
of that.
medication. I don't have access to even a result or a solution to my disability as someone with a connective tissue disorder. It's genetic.
Have you been able to go to different doctors and
Connective tissue disorder is not a mental disability.
get yourself tested? And
Yeah.
see?
And also, you can get a job with a connective tissue disorder.
You have?
Yes.
And in California?
Yes, but not
And who-
enough.
who paid
I can't
for it?
find a specialist.
You can't find a
I can't
specialist.
find a specialist.
Is in your life that's
I
willing
can't
to pay
find
for the
anyone.
specialist?
Well, they could they would if they had money.
Anybody in
But
your,
yeah.
Would you be okay if I pay for a specialist for you to go see?
Yeah.
Would you take money from a capitalist to help you go see specialist?
Checkmate. Checkmate. You're welcome for being a capitalist. Oh, fuck, he killed her. It's over. Oh, Lord.
I mean, yeah, sure. Why?
Oh, nicely done, you sly dog.
I'm going to have you go see do you live in California?
Yeah.
I'm going to have you go
Obviously. Please.
see two specialists. But would you also be open to seeing somebody else I choose as a psychologist that may...
No.
You're not.
No. You
Simply-
choose as a psychologist.
I'm a psychologist. Why not?
Choosing who gets to determine what
What I-
health looks
what I-
like.
what I-
Determine what? Who gets to determine you? You determine your own mental illnesses? Yeah, absolutely.
No.
Okay, then I wish you nothing but the best.
Okay, that was
Wow, dude! This is fucking painful as shit.
probably the best one of all. That
No,
was
dude,
just
I still think the employee guy, because this lady was obviously crazy a little bit. But I think that the guy that turned down the job was the best. But this was easily second best. That was cinema. That was perfect.
so telling. This girl states that she is sick and she's mentally ill. Granted.
Because of capitalism.
Maybe she is.
I mean, we saw the nose ring. Like I believe her. I believe her.
Patrick says, if you're comfortable, do you mind disclosing the category?
Are you comfortable being specific?
Completely reasonable thing to ask. He didn't bring it up. She brought it up when she was asked about voting in the 2020 election. There was actually no need to bring it up whatsoever. And then, fair enough, Patrick wants to ask for clarity about this illness that she said.
See, I would have asked what her mental illness is before. Like, for me, I would have sat down with her and I would have been like, hello, nice to meet you. So, could you define what your mental illness is right off the bat? But that's why I will never get invited to like a Jubilee type debate, because I am a little bit too real.
It was the result of capitalism. I mean, I haven't heard of these capitalism mental illnesses besides,
Oh, you never heard of capitalism mental illnesses? Damn. Behind the times.
of course, being a socialist, which she's also suffering from, but I don't think it's
True.
that she's
Communism is actually a mental illness, which is why I fully support the McCarthyism. Deport all the communists. Deport Hassan Piker immediately.
talking about. And he had every right to push her on her reasoning here, because this is very common among young people these days. They will have some sort of a mental illness that makes them a victim, because that is like a currency these days.
Yep.
The more you have wrong with you, the higher up the intersectional totem pole of victim you are.
Dude, all you need to be is a transsexual, gay, lesbian, Palestinian midget, and you will control the world. It's over. You are the ultimate victim, and you will never, ever, ever be defeated. You will become the God Emperor of mankind.
You are winning the oppression Olympics, which is why they all have something wrong these days. Everybody's neurodivergent or trans. But then she says she can't find a specialist.
You can't
I
find a
can't
specialist.
find a specialist who
Anyone
I
in your
am.
life-
And Patrick offers to pay for her to see not one but two specialists on the proviso that she sees a psychologist of his choosing.
I'm going to have you go see two specialists, but would you also be open to seeing somebody else I choose as a psychologist that may...
No.
You're not.
No.
And supposedly her health is
Wow,
really
dude.
bad, guys. She can't find a specialist. She's not only physically, but she's mentally ill. This must be a terrible affliction to have. And she must be absolutely...
I mean, she doesn't want to go to a psychologist because the psychologist is going to say that, I mean, this is all self-induced and she doesn't actually have an actual mental illness. She is the mental illness.
desperate to get rid of this, or at least to get to the bottom of this, find out
Crazy.
what's going on. I mean, this is her health after all. But no, she's more interested in holding on to the victim mentality than getting an accurate diagnosis and getting on top of her health. Now, I'll let you guys make of that what you will. But I'll just say that the way I see things, the problem that these guys have is not capitalism. But anyways, that's just my humble opinion.
Yeah,
Guys?
I agree. Yeah, no, that was good. I'll link him in the description, obviously, and definitely subscribe to me because, yeah, I'm telling you, man, someone needs to call the retards retards. It's important for society's well-being, all right? If you look like this, you have already failed. You have a problem. You are not getting a job. No one's hiring you if you look like this, because she is only going to cause problems. She will. I'm not trying to be rude here. That's just kind of where we're at. But anyway, thanks so much for joining. I appreciate y'all. I really do. Thank you for using your freedom to click on this video and to spend the last amount of time with me. It was glorious. I enjoyed your company. We made fun of retards together. It was beautiful. It was a bonding moment. Invest your fucking money. Just invest your fucking money, okay? Don't take my personal financial advice on how you invest it, but fucking invest shit, okay? I don't know how much you make every month. I'm sure you make something, all right? I'm sure something comes in or not. Get a job if not, but if you are, put a couple $100 somewhere, okay? Somewhere, like the S&P 500. Just do it. Every month, put it there. No matter if the stock market goes up or it goes down. Every month, put something there. You will be a millionaire in a couple of years, in 30 years. Okay, it'll happen. It will happen. The impossible goal will be attained. No one tells you that because they'd rather have you spend all your money on lesbian tap dance theory and literally make you broke so that you can vote for Democrats. I don't think you're aware, but that's literally the scam. The scam is to make you self-diagnose with mental illnesses, to make you hate capitalism, to make you broke, sad, and disconnected so that they can manipulate you to vote for them. You are their social experiment if you look like this. And they destroyed your life. So, see you in the next one. Bye. Like, subscribe, and this video was streamed live on kick.com/Nuxanor. See you there. Stay weird, fam.